No one really noticed when it happened. Part of him recognized the place, even though he had never set foot there. When the Federation finally ordered a specialized rescue team to investigate, Ethan Kael was among the first assigned, and as the transport ship prepared to depart, one truth settled over him like a shadow. Whatever happened in Colony E7 wasn't just a disaster, it was waiting for him.
When Colony E7's silence grew too heavy to ignore, the Federation made the inevitable decision: deploy an advanced rescue unit, a specialized team trained to enter situations where logic fails, where danger hides behind every shadow, and where nothing, absolutely nothing, can be trusted. Ethan Kael was assigned to that team. He wasn't the strongest soldier, nor the most obedient, but Ethan had something far more valuable: an instinct, a strange, almost unsettling intuition for anomalies, the kind that made him notice things others overlooked. His commanders called it luck, his peers called it a glitch in the brain. Ethan never named it, but he trusted it. Still, when he received the mission briefing, an unexpected unease settled inside him. Colony E7 wasn't just another station gone dark. Something about it felt personal, even though he couldn't explain why. During the transport flight, tension filled the cabin. Soldiers checked gear silently. Technicians muttered about missing data. No one dared to voice what they truly feared: that they were headed towards something beyond their comprehension. Ethan sat near the front, his eyes fixed on the holographic projection of the station. Every rotation of the model stirred a strange familiarity in him, like a memory he couldn't reach, a word on the tip of his tongue. The commander broke the silence. "Entering the dead zone. No communication beyond this point. Stay alert." As the ship crossed into the anomaly surrounding the station, even the sensors seemed to hesitate. The air felt heavier. The temperature dropped
Was it fear? Was it memory? Or something else entirely? Then it happened. A sensation, primal and immediate, flooded him. They were being watched, not by something alive in the traditional sense, not by a predator hidden in the shadows, but by the station itself, or by something within it. The soldiers raised their weapons, scanning the corridor ahead. Ethan raised a hand, stopping them, but didn't know why. Something not to go that way. The commander shook his head sharply. Ignore them. They're unstable. We continue to the core. But Ethan couldn't shake the truth pulsing through him. These creatures weren't attacking because they weren't enemies. They were survivors, victims, people caught in something horrific. And they knew Ethan Kael. Their bodies responded to him. Their gestures were directed at him. Their fear was for him. The station trembled faintly, a vibration that wasn't mechanical, a temporal pulse. Ethan felt it reverberate in his bones, like a heartbeat matching his own. The creature in front of him suddenly pulled back, as if reacting to an invisible shockwave. Its eyes, those cloudy, damaged eyes, locked onto Ethan's with an intensity that made him freeze. In that moment, he understood. They weren't just communicating. They were begging him to remember. Because whatever nightmare lay ahead, Ethan Kael was connected to it in ways he was only beginning to uncover.
The rescue team moved forward, but every step toward the station's core felt heavier, as if the air itself resisted their presence. Ethan Kael felt it more than anyone. A pressure in his chest, a throbbing pulse at the base of his skull. The closer they came, the stronger it grew. It wasn't fear. It was recognition. When they reached the antechamber of the central sector, the atmosphere changed completely. The walls shimmered faintly, like reflections rippling on water. The lights flickered in uneven intervals, revealing flashes of something that didn't belong in the present. Ethan blinked, and for a split second, he saw another version of the same room. Bright, alive. Scientists working around consoles, the hum of machinery, voices calling out measurements. Then everything snapped back into darkness.
of Colony E7, scientists, guardians, neighbors, family. Ethan watched his father input a final sequence on the console, a genetic encryption tied to the infant in his mother's arms, a biological failsafe, a living key, a safeguard encoded into him before he could speak. His mother placed her trembling hand on the emergency pod, tears streaming down her face. She kissed Ethan's forehead one last time. She heard her whisper words that crossed time itself. "Forgive me. You're our hope." The pod closed. The memory shattered. Ethan gasped as he fell back into the present, dropping to his knees, the cold metal floor hitting hard. His pulse pounded in his ears. The room spun. He finally understood. He wasn't just connected to Colony E7. He was born here. He was part of the project that destroyed it, part of the only solution that could save what remained. The creatures surrounding him approached slowly, trembling, but not in fear, in recognition. One of them, the one who had touched him before, leaned closer. Despite her broken, distorted form, Ethan saw something familiar in her posture, something unmistakable. The being reached out a trembling hand and touched his face, and then, with a distorted crackle of a voice long lost to time, she whispered, Ethan." His chest tightened, because even through the damage, even through decades of temporal agony, she recognized him, his mother, what was left of her. The magnitude of it crushed him. Tears blurred his vision, though he wasn't sure
The creatures surrounding the chamber, the remnants of his home, his people, fell silent as if sensing the weight of the moment. Their hollow eyes watched him with a mixture of grief and hope. Some shook uncontrollably. But he kept his hands on the sphere. He didn't falter. Not now. Not at the end. When the final pulse rippled outward, the core let out one last soft hum and died. Darkness settled around them. True darkness. Peaceful darkness. Ethan collapsed to the floor, breathing hard, alive but exhausted. The bond between him and the machine finally broken. The chamber was silent. Then slowly the creatures approached him, one by one, carefully, gently. His mother's fractured form reached out and touched his cheek again, softly, lovingly, as she had in the memory he recovered. Even broken by time, she recognized her son. Ethan placed his hand over hers, voice barely above a whisper. "It's over. I'm home." The survivors bowed their heads. The rescue team stared in stunned silence. And in that moment, Ethan Kael, the lost child of Colony E7, the living key to a forbidden weapon, the last unbroken thread of a shattered past, finally fulfilled the purpose he never asked for, and gave the station, its people, and himself the peace they had been denied for so long. Ethan Kael ended the tragedy of the ghost colony, and in doing so, reclaimed his destiny.